magic white rabbit has left its writing on the wall. We follow like Alice and just keep diving down the hole.
And John, you guys are from Memphis, right?
Right.
I remember going to Memphis. It was like the the blues month. It was like one of the first weekends, and how rich it is with the music. What is like the obviously Elvis with the older rock stuff, but what is the current scene like there?
Well, to be honest, it's changed a lot over the last 6-7 years. When we first started, it was at its peak. I mean, you know, it's the home of rock and roll. It's blues and rock, and it's just music everywhere. And when we first started, it was like, if there was 3 or 4 local bands playing, the place was packed. It didn't matter who they were, because that was the place to be.
Right.
And the rock station we had there at the time was 92.9 WMFS, and it became 93X. And both were heavily involved with the local scene, so they would always promote it. And a buddy of ours, Mike Killebrew, who's at XTB in Tampa now, and Rob Cressman, who's in Springfield, Massachusetts. They were there together, and they were both very adamant about making the scene a real scene. And that helped even like when we had nationals come through, because everybody was always in communication with one another. You were always seeing the same group of people every Friday, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. And then when they both left and the station was gone, it was it was like overnight someone just pulled the plug, and it went away. And that's not to say that there's not bands there. There's still amazing bands there. It's just like, I can't imagine what they're going through. I mean, a lot of them will tell us what they're going through, trying to figure out how they're going to make it out of Memphis now. There's nothing to put them on the radar other than just continuing to play there, keep building the following, and then go online and hope that somebody sees them online and gives them a chance. And it's just like the outlet has been removed, and to me it's like completely absurd. It's like, you know, I get that people want to change formats and let's do the sports talk radio and this and that. Dude, I'm the biggest sports fan that you're ever going to find in a rock band. We're all huge into athletics, and at the same time it's like there is a demographic for hard rock. Right. And for years we've said it as from this age group to this age group is the target audience. Well, now the age group that's listening to the heavier rock is younger, so they need to change the game up. It's not that there's not people that will follow and people that will get involved with your station, but if you just continue to only focus on this gap of people, it's like other formats are outdoing you, so you just take the format away, and now you have these kids who have no outlet. And that's the truth, is that's the ones that you're hurting, is you're hurting the people that are 12 to 25, because you haven't targeted them. You're targeting 25 to 45, the drinking audience. Right. And it's like, everyone should be, that's what rock music was about when I was a kid, is that everybody went, dude. If if Metallica was playing, you went with your parents. Everybody went, dude. You went as a family, aunts and uncles, and I mean cousins, everybody went. And it's like, at some point we've removed that, and now it's just like, if you look at the bands that are touring that aren't getting radio play, that are heavy, the audience tends to be a lot younger. And in the bands that are getting radio play, the audience tends to be a little older. And it's like, it's all one demo. It's all one group of people that are into similar stuff. And I just think that we're shortchanging ourselves by creating division in it. And the more that we divide the genre and we create all these little sub areas, and the more that we're willing to just walk away from it, I think you're hurting it, and you're going to put it in a position to where, I mean, the one beautiful thing about rock is that the people that are doing it are truly talented. Right. They're not button pushers. They're not freaking fake. They're legitimate musicians who have a talent, and eventually you're going to have to come back around to that, and you're going to have to deal with these people that are very talented, and it's going to suck for, you know, some of the people who just walked away from it. and that's just my personal opinion. And I think that the sooner that we get it figured out, that you know, some of these bands that aren't getting played, that should be getting played, and target that younger audience, combine it. You know,
put them together.
Yeah, I mean, how do you expect it to keep moving forward if you don't start establishing the newer, younger artists?
Right.
If you just keep playing the same, you know, the same thing, and it's like.
Yeah, it's really true, because you see that around here. I remember, I think it was a Kiss concert, you saw the whole family going, and it was odd for me to see the whole family because I'm so used to it being the opposite way now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. It should be the whole family and a fun event.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is that it's like, if you took, you know, one of these younger bands that maybe mom and dad aren't into as much. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Probably gonna do that again.
Go ahead.
If you, allergies are awesome. If you take some of those bands and you mixed it in, then you would have the same people that you're trying to get, but you would be gaining an audience, and you would be turning these younger kids onto things that maybe they're not listening to, and the little bit older audience onto something that's new and fresh that maybe they're like, oh man, I love these, you know, this new band. Yeah. And it's like,
openness.
You got to. I just think that we've quit being progressive. Someone said to me the other day, they were like, when did we stop being cool as rock bands? And I was like, I wasn't aware that rock bands were uncool. Yeah. And he was like, if you think about it, when's the last time you really saw like a real rock band really be a part of something huge with MTV? And I was like, that's kind of a good point, I guess. And it's like, music in itself, entertainment, movies, everything, have all taken a huge hit.
Yeah.
And the only way to make this whole thing better, I guess what I'm trying to get to is that we all have got to work together.
Yeah.
And we've got to be willing to think outside of the box, so that we don't lose something that we all genuinely love deep down.
Yeah, well, maybe like the kids in Memphis, how you said that station went out, maybe they can do like a website where all of them can, you know, find out all that and start interacting and be able to go to the clubs again and really get that hype up again, because that's a shame that
they
it's
do.
Down.
They do, and there's a couple bands there that work so hard and they beat the streets. They flyer, they do internet promotions, they do everything within their power. But it's like
if they had that one,
they're missing a leg or they're missing an arm right now that would help assist them. And I mean, people have signed petitions and things like that. It's just like, it's so sad that the birthplace, the home of rock and roll, the home of Elvis Presley, doesn't have a modern new rock station.
Oh, that stinks.
It just blows my mind.
So everybody pull together and see it.
Do it for your own town. Don't just do it for us. We're pulling together there, but I mean, everyone pull together everywhere. If you don't have a rock station and you want one, nobody has a voice like you do. So
and
be
the
willing to
internet,
fight
because
for it.
that's the best place to really spread everything out. So,
yeah.
Very cool. The name of your band too comes from that area too, right? Was it a street sign or something?
Well, it's a street in Memphis, and when I was growing up, it ran through the hood. Now it runs all the way through like the backside of like Bartlett and some other nicer areas. But growing up, that was just where it was, and we couldn't decide on a band name. We'd write stuff on this dry erase board. Every night we'd just be like, okay, cool, I got an idea, let's write this down. And at, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning after jamming all day and, you know, a 12-pack of beer, every name sounds good that you wrote. But when you wake up the next day, you're like, did I really write that on that board? Or, I mean, you know, and we all had very clear and different ideas of what we thought we could see the band as. So there was different style names that would come up, and then we couldn't quite figure out at that point what would be the proper name. So rather than pick something that was like based off of the music that we were gonna we decided to pick something that would just remind us of where we were from.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And of course, like you said, you don't want to just pick anything because it's going to stick with you hopefully a long time. So it's a cool name. I was just curious, and then I saw that it was a street sign. It was pretty cool. So.
What I deserve, I won't be pushed aside. I will be heard. I will get what I want, what I deserve.
We're catching you out today. It's a festival out here in Syracuse, and then you guys have a couple other festival dates, and I know you're playing out near Albany too, which is part of our demographic region, the Q-Ruption, I think it's called, with I think it's like Sick Puppies and Godsmack and a bunch of them. What else do you guys have lined up for tour?
Well, for right now we have we have that. We have a ton of festivals. We just finished the Hinder Run, so we're going to do these festivals, and then we start this do a couple weeks of Saving Abel. Then we go back to some more festivals and radio shows, and then we're doing our own Pop Evil, and then hopefully within the next week we'll be announcing tour plans for October. So, but all that leads all the way through the end of September for right now.
It's a big tour then.
We're hoping. There's a couple big things that are going out, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that we're on one of them.
Excellent. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can't wait to see you again. The new album again is White Rabbit, and remember to always support your artists and buy their albums. Suspended video edition of MusicianPhotoJournal.
We're losing control. You're pulling us, dragging us down this dead end road.